So hi guys, my name is Ashim and I am your host for this session, Go Java. So if you have not attended our previous session, I see a lot of people they have not attended previous session. Go check our YouTube channel and you can see we have already uploaded videos of previous session, and also we are also conducting big data sessions also. So we have uploaded video on YouTube as well. So you are new, so I would request you to go to our website techindustry.in and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also our there is a link, WhatsApp chat link, where you will get latest updates about our session. So it's our WhatsApp group we have created to help you guys, giving you updates and also solving your queries. So let me show you our website first. Okay, so yeah, I can see Raman is online. So hi Raman, yeah, you can start your session now.
Welcome again to our today's session. So we have Vineet, we have Sunil. Hi Vineet, welcome. Hey Sunil, good evening. Welcome
Hello,
back.
Raman.
All right. So nice to see you guys back to our session. So yep, as if I remember correctly, this is our fifth session, right, Ashim?
Yes, Raman.
Okay, fine. Fine. So, if I remember correctly, so in last two sessions we talked about OOPS concepts, right? So we covered classes and objects. We covered inheritance concepts. We looked at other OOPS features like encapsulation and polymorphism, right? I think the one feature that was left from my side, pending from my side, was polymorphism, right? So I
Sir, I'm a
will.
fresher.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sir,
Yeah,
I'm a fresher.
You are a fresher. Yeah, so actually these classes are for freshers only. That's what we are targeting, right? So if you have missed out on our older, earlier sessions, you can maybe have a look at the YouTube channel wherein we have uploaded all the videos till now, apart from just that yesterday's video
Sir,
on big
can you tell
data.
me the channel name, sir?
What do you want to know?
Channel name.
tech industry is the channel name.
Maybe somebody can have that channel name in the chat box. Ashim, maybe
Yeah,
you
like
can coordinate. Just post that channel name in the chat box for anybody. Maybe we need Sunil. Right.
like we'll be sharing in the WhatsApp group. Like you can look into that
Yep,
after
yep.
this session.
Yeah, if you're not on WhatsApp group, I would highly recommend you to at least join that, so you receive all the latest updates from our side. So yeah, without wasting more time, let me just take you through the polymorphism concept of object-oriented programming, right? So I try to finish this little fast as compared to my earlier classes because we have this complete exception handling, which will take quite some time. Okay. So yeah, when we talk about polymorphism, right, the word itself is composed of two different words together called poly and morphos, right? So poly means multiple, many, and morphos means forms. So when we put these two words together, it becomes multiple forms. So if you are representing, if you are showing something in multiple forms, that means it is polymorphism. A very basic example, or what we can see in the programming world or in the computing world, is the basic basic calculator that we use every day, right? So let's say we want to have an addition or multiplication of two numbers. So how do we do it? We just take our calculator, we print the first number, or we type the first number followed by plus sign, right? And then we type the second number, okay? And then equal to, this will give us the addition of those two numbers, right? So as we understand in any language, we need to have functions and we need to have programs. So if you are doing some calculation on calculator, that means there is one program which is running in behind, which is hidden from you. You are just the computer has given or the calculator has given us just the basic features, the minimum features that we want to use that functionality, right? So you just press 1 plus 2 and equals, and it will give you sum. Next thing is, let's say you wanted to add three numbers, right? So what do? You add 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to, it will give you addition of those three numbers. Okay. Next, let's say you wanted to add a decimal number along with an integer number. So decimal number, let's say 1.5 along with integer number, let's say 2. So this will give you an output of 1.5 plus 2 equal to, anybody? So guys, if you're new, the way we conduct these classes is we want it to be very like both sides, not just one side. Okay, so maybe you can respond back if you're listening or if you're getting my concept. So I was talking about addition of two numbers. If one number is a decimal type and one is normal integer type, so how do we add these two numbers? We just print in those two numbers 1.5 plus 2 and it gives us 3.5, right? So what why am I giving you this example? You'll be thinking like this is very basic, why is he telling this, right? So what happens in backend, it's not like you have written so much of code or a lot of things. So in the backend you have just one function, right? Or one function name called as addition, and one function name called as subtraction, one function name called as division. So how you can have as many as you want depending on your application. Here we are talking about calculator. So if you want to develop this kind of calculator in Java, then how do we do it? Or if you want to have this functionality wherein you want to do a similar job, a similar kind of job, but then it has different parameters, right? There are parameters or the values that we're passing were two case. Values were 3 in the second case, and values were again 2, but of two different types. In the third case, where we are adding an decimal type and an integer type. So how OOPS is helping us out in this kind of problem is it has given us this beautiful feature called polymorphism, right? So since we are doing similar functionality, so we shouldn't be writing functions like sum of two numbers, and if you want to add three numbers, we shouldn't do this like sum of three numbers, or if you are adding a double type and an integer type, then you'll write sum of a double and an integer type, right? So this is not a bad practice. So to avoid that, our Java or C++ engineers, this concept came from C++. Those guys, they thought about this and they came up with this concept of polymorphism, right? So they clubbed all words together with same name, which had similar functionality. I hope you can hear me. Ashim, maybe you can monitor the chat box. I have some people. Okay. Fine. So it's about you. Fine. Yeah. If I put F5, how does it look? Yeah. So to have that functionality, okay, we came up with polymorphism concept, wherein we were having one function name for a similar kind of functionality, right? So here you can see we have some method here. Name of the method is sum, but then we have different types of parameters, or count of parameters is different, and that's how polymorphism we can define. So here we have different types of parameters. Here we have two, right? Here we have three, and here we have two different types, right? So we defined two different things here. One is number of parameters. On the basis of number of parameters, we can have polymorphism, and on the basis of type of parameters, we are defining polymorphism. Okay. So yeah, on this side you can see it's simple calculator. Cal.sum, we are passing two parameters. So compiler will automatically understand like which sum method he needs to call, or that compiler needs to call, right? So if you see cal.sum we have called, here we have three functions with same name, sum, sum. But which one to call, that will depend on the kind of parameters or the type of parameters or the number of parameters. So the first call here, method call here, will call which method out of these three, guys? Can tell me?
First sum of.
That's great. Yeah, it will call the first method, and the second method call here to sum method will call which method here?
Third method.
That's great. So it will match the type of parameter. The compiler is smart enough to match the type of parameter and will automatically call this method, right? And similarly, the third call here will call this second method. So I hope you understand this concept. So guys, this concept of polymorphism is called method overloading, right? Since you can see we are using same method names and we are overloading it. Same method using multiple times. The only differentiator here is the type of parameters, or type of values that you are passing, right? Or in other words, we call it compile time polymorphism. Both are used to refer the same concept here. Okay. So that was about compiled in polymorphism. Next, we have runtime polymorphism, or we call it method overriding. So the people who have joined us new and who are maybe freshers, I want response from them if they are able to understand at least the concept that we talked about.
Yes, it's understanding.
You got something?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anybody else? I guess there were multiple people attending this
Yeah,
class.
like it is clear. If you give the broader example, it will be very easy. High
Yeah.
level example.
See, it's since this class is limited for freshers. It's I wanted to have as easy examples as possible, and I have come up with these kind of examples. High level examples. There's nothing called as high level in this concept, right? So you can have any method, right, or any application wherein you wanted to have similar functionality with same function names, but parameter types were different. So this concept is applicable there, can be used there, right? We are talking about concepts, and yeah, we are after we cover basics, we will take up one project and we'll use all of these concepts to build our project. I think that time you will understand all these.
Clear. Yeah, fine.
Fine. Thank you. So moving on to next concept. It's second. I just want to check that we are at 6:25. So next concept is runtime polymorphism. So runtime polymorphism is another type of polymorphism, right? Or it's called as method overriding. The last one we talked about was called method overloading. This one is method overriding, right? Okay. So what happens in method overriding? When we talked about inheritance, we talked about this concept also. So method overriding is something, let's say here we can see we have one example. We have an animal, right? We have an animal class called, or we can call it a parent class. And we have a dog class, which is extending this parent class animal. Fine. So this animal, we talked about this in our inheritance session. I'll just repeat it again quickly. So this animal has three different features called animal type, age, and color features, along with two different methods. So all the animals, since the eat, we had this feature, this functionality called eat, and animals definitely they sleep. So we had this functionality called sleep, and we have given the comments like animal is eating and animal is sleeping, right? Now, when we talked about dog and the concept of inheritance, if you remember, so inheritance is something wherein a child class will inherit or will have some feature from their parent class, right? So in real time, if we understand, so if your parents, they have some home or they have a car, it automatically belongs to you, right? So you are inheriting all their wealth. So so in similar fashion, all the properties here, animal type, age, color, will be inherited automatically by the child class dog, right? So this child class dog has 4 features now, apart from these 3. It has one more of its own called breed, and it has its own method called bark apart from these 2 methods. I hope you understand, right? So everything that is part of animal will automatically be transferred to our dog class. Okay, it will not be visible, but it is there. Okay. So now let's say there is a scenario wherein we do not want to use a feature that belongs to our parent class, right? So let's say somebody's parent, they were running some shop or mall or something. They had some farming business, right? And their child, that guy or girl, they didn't want to inherit that feature. They wanted to do something on their own, right? So in that case, how do we define that thing here in polymorphism? We can do so using override feature, right? So what we did here, for this eat feature, in this class we have written animal is eating, right? But in our dog class, we don't want to show dog as an animal, right? We wanted an individuality of dog. So what we did, we have written again similar method with similar parameters and return type, and we have written an override sign, which will ensure that this method is being overridden from a parent class. In our case here, we have animal as the parent class, right? So when you run this class and we call dog.eat, it will print dog is eating. So guys, if I'm going too fast, just let me know so I can. Okay, exact similar example I am having. We talked about animal, these 3 features, 2 methods, eat and sleep, which are typical to this animal, right? Then we talked about dog. Dog has this feature called breed, and dog has one more feature called bark. This feature is specific to dog only, right? And then we are adding one more feature called eat, which is already present in our parent class animal. Here you can see animal is our parent class using this keyword extends. Okay. Now if you call animal equal to new animal, this is the way to create an object using animal constructor, right? And we call these 2 methods of animal.eat and animal.sleep. So this will give us animal is eating and animal is sleeping. Okay. So what I will do, I'll just comment this part. Okay. So when we called animal, it will show us animal is eating and animal is sleeping, as you see in these 2 methods, right? Now what I'll do, I'll just move this part. This part. I think this is not required. So here you see dog is barking, right? And since we have overridden this feature, so we got this dog is eating. Now, to prove that this feature was already there in our animal class, I'll just comment out this part of dog class. Okay, dog.eat. Now what happens? This, since we do not have specific eat method in dog class, it will refer to the eat method in animal class, in its parent class, right? So guys, I hope you understand and you get the concept, right? So any questions on inheritance, on polymorphism, or is it clear?
Yes, sir, I'm understanding this.
You got it? Great, thank you. Anybody else?
It's clear.
Is it clear? Fine, perfect.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Okay, fine. So yeah, this was about about polymorphism using inheritance, right?